Christine Persichetti. The fall 2023 meeting of bishops in Baltimore is officially underway. Tuesday saw the first full day of discussions and votes, including an election for 2 Brooklyn bishops to some important USCCB committees. Currents News' Jessica Easthope reports.
The votes are in, and Diocese of Brooklyn Bishop Robert Brennan is chairman-elect of the United States Conference of Catholic Bishops Committee on Cultural Diversity in the Church. Bishop Brennan won his election by 10 votes. And Brooklyn Auxiliary Bishop James Massa was voted in as chairman-elect of the USCCB's Committee on Doctrine. Bishop Massa won his election by 7 votes. The first day of meetings was a chance for the public to get insight into how the country's bishops make decisions and discuss national church issues. But international peace was front of mind for USCCB President Archbishop Timothy Broglio.
We recognize and defend the right of Israel to exist and to enjoy a place among the nations. At the same time, we know that the Palestinians, who represent the majority of Christians in the Holy Land, while still being a minority themselves, have a right to a land that is their own.
The USCCB welcomed the Pope's representative to the U.S., Cardinal Christophe Pierre. He addressed the bishops for the first time since receiving his red hat from Pope Francis ahead of the first Global Synod meeting at the Vatican. Cardinal Pierre's address spoke about how the Synod on Synodality and the Eucharistic revival are intertwined.
The Eucharist is encounter, helping us to give new life. It makes us the living presence of Jesus to others. So, my brothers, Eucharistic revival and synodality go together.
Over the next year, the bishops will engage in prayer and dialogue reflecting on the Synod's synthesis report. As for Bishops Brennan and Massa, they will each serve for 1 year as chairman-elect before beginning a 3-year term as chairman at the conclusion of next year's fall assembly. Jessica Easthope, Currents News.
The national correspondent for the Tablet and Crux, John Lavenberg, is also in Baltimore with the bishops. He joins us now with more on today's discussions. Hi, John.
Hi, Christine.
All right, so 2 big wins for Brooklyn. Bishop Brennan is now the chairman-elect of the Committee on Cultural Diversity, and Auxiliary Bishop Massa is now the chairman-elect of the Committee on Doctrine. Explain those committees for us. What do they do?
Sure. So the Committee on Cultural Diversity, they essentially bring different cultures, races, and communities into fuller participation, in the church in the United States. And then as for the Committee on Doctrine, it's really about providing expertise and guidance to the church in the United States on various theological issues. For example, they dive into the health and sciences, or faith and sciences aspect of church doctrine and different things along those lines.
Okay, the bishops also said they're planning on adding to their voting guide, and something that's been a big discussion before the meeting is the document's wording around abortion. Currently, their guide calls it the preeminent issue, but some bishops don't agree with that. Cardinal Robert McElroy of San Diego, for example, said in 2019, it is not Catholic that abortion is the preeminent issue that we face as a world in Catholic social teaching. So what does he mean by that, John? Why are bishops having a hard time calling this the preeminent issue?
Yeah, I mean, the real challenge here when it comes to that wording of preeminent is how they want the church to be perceived and how they want Catholics and others around the country to view what the church holds as most important when it comes to voting. So what I can tell you is today that didn't come up as Archbishop Lurie just presented what's going to be voted on and added to faithful citizenship. But tomorrow, the bishops will have a more full discussion on what to add to that guide and how to add it. And I'm sure that issue will come up as, like you said, bishops are kind of on both sides of that, on whether or not it should be listed as the preeminent issue or if it should just be one of a number of issues included in that document.
All right, I look forward to hearing about that. And finally, John, this was the first time we got to hear from the bishops who went to the Vatican for the first Global Synod meeting. Really quick, what did they have to say about that?
Yeah, they had very positive things to say about that experience. Of course, they got to meet with people from all over the world who participated in this process. Some of the words that were used from those who participated, they said it was edified, they were edified and encouraged. There was unprecedented participation worldwide, and it was a positive, enriching experience for them. So nothing but positive things to say about the Synod experience, and they look forward to 2024.
Okay, John Lavenberg, national correspondent for the Tablet and Crux. Thanks for joining us. We'll speak to you again tomorrow.
Thank you, Christine.
And be sure to tune in tomorrow as John continues to report on the bishops' meetings in Baltimore. You can also read his full reports online at thetablet.org. Turning now to the terror in the Holy Land. Tens of thousands of demonstrators descended onto the National Mall for a pro-Israel march. The Department of Homeland Security declared the march a level 1 security event, the highest level. Organizers said 100,000 people of all ages from all around the country were coming to the event. This as more than 400 U.S. officials have signed a letter protesting President Biden's support of Israel. The letter calls on the commander-in-chief to seek an immediate ceasefire in Gaza and to push for Israel to allow humanitarian aid into the territory. Now to an about-face in the Big Apple. Governor Kathy Hochul had hoped that the state could issue work permits for migrants, but that won't be happening anytime soon. That's because it would be against federal law. Currently, that law requires a 150-day wait before migrants can get to work. And Congress is at a standstill when it comes to immigration. It could be decades before anything changes. Meanwhile, migrants can get some help from a church in Queens. The soup kitchen at Our Lady of Sorrows in Corona has fed 1,500 people since it opened in September. In addition, the parish's food pantry has given groceries to 600 families. Speaking of meals, Catholic Charities is helping to put a Thanksgiving dinner on the table. The organization is talking turkey, giving away the trimmings outside of Holy Innocents Church in Flatbush. Curtsy's Katie Vasquez is there.
You can see the line behind me, which goes all the way down the block. People have been waiting for hours outside Holy Innocents Church in Brooklyn, hoping to bring home a Thanksgiving turkey. 1,000 birds were waiting for the long line of people outside the Flatbush Church. Many had been standing outside in the cold since 6 a.m., hoping to receive a turkey from Catholic Charities Brooklyn and Queens. They were handed out on a first-come, first-served basis. Catholic Charities CEO Monsignor Alfred Lapinto says the line of people further highlights the great need for the annual giveaway.
These are difficult times. People are struggling at this point, and so this is an opportunity to give them a little bit of support so that hopefully they can have a celebration with their family and friends for Thanksgiving and maybe forget all the misery that's around us.
Things is very hard. Right now I'm not working, so it's going to be very helpful for my family.
Those who came to the giveaway also received a $50 food voucher so they can pick up the rest of their holiday meal. In Flatbush, Katie Vasquez, Currents News.
Catholic Charities is planning to give away more birds ahead of Thanksgiving. For more information, just go to ccbq.org. That's wonderful. And that is this Currents News Update. I'm Christine Persichetti. Thank you for joining us because we are putting your faith in the news. Hope to see you again next time.